Last example 3. If naatay line, we can also calculate forces in a plane considering x and y directions. So suppose we have two equal positive charges, Q1 is equal to Q2, and they are equal to 2 microcoulombs, are located at x0, y 0.3 meters and x0, y negative 0.3 meters respectively. So ang coordinates sa charge 1 is at 0, 0.3, while the coordinates sa charge 2 is 0, negative 0.3. Now, what are the magnitude and direction of the total electric force that charge 1 and charge 2 exert on a third charge Q, big Q, which is equal to 4 microcoulombs at x equals 0.4, y 0. So you have to plot this on a coordinate system para ma-visualize nimo ang imuhang problem. Kay pag dili nimo ma-visualize, mali imong direction sa force, mali na tanan. Okay? So you have there your x and y axis. Charge 1 is at 0.3. Charge 2 at 0, negative 0.3. And charge Q, kanang pula, naa sa 4. Coordinate niya is at 4, 0. So, ato ni siyang tagsa-tagsa og solve. We first solve charge 1 to charge Q. So, F1 on big Q. So, using the same formula, you have 8.988 times 10 to the minus times 10 to the 9 na constant. Your Q1 is 2 times 10 to the minus 6. Now, this time, minus 6 na siya kay micromanggod, no? Microcoulombs, meaning times 10 to the minus 6. Then, charge sa big Q is 4 times 10 to the minus 6 divided by square sa distance. Since na makaform ang gitag triangular figure ani, right triangle, so sa distance nga part, you apply Pythagorean theorem. Okay? A squared plus B squared. So that's why natay ning ana diha sa denominator. And if you calculate that, you will get 0.29 newtons. Okay? 0.29 newtons. Now, in problems involving x and y coordinates, it is not enough nga mo-solve lang ka for the figure. You have to dissect it into its components. You break it down into x component and y component. So, kunin mo ang x component sa F1 and Q. And you will apply here trigonometry. So, makita nimo sa figure that the alpha there, okay, para ma-solve nimo ang kuan ana x component, you will use cosine nga function. And the cosine alpha sa figure makita nimo is adjacent side over hypotenuse. So what is adjacent side? Adjacent side sa alpha is 0.4. Okay? Adjacent side sa alpha is 0.4 divided by hypotenuse 0.5. So the 0.29 i-multiply nimo na siya sa ratio sa adjacent to the hypotenuse. So you will get 0.23 newtons. Mo na siya ang x component sa F1 and Q. Next, F1 on Q pero y component. So this time, you will use sine function. So ang sine function is sa ito, if you can recall, so katoa, opposite over hypotenuse. So makita nimo sa figure, ang opposite side is 0.3 while hypotenuse is 0.5. So you multiply that sa imuhang 0.29, you will get 0.17 newtons. Negative lang siya because the y component is going down. Okay? Basta mo consider ka og y component, when it goes up, it is positive. When it goes down, it's negative. So that's why negative 0.17. So you have your x component is 0.23 newtons, while your y component is negative 0.17 newtons because Q1, ihang ipanaog ang Q2. So next, charge 2 on charge Q, F2 on Q. So using the same formula, ang malahi lang ana, well, murag wala tay malahi because the magnitude sa ilang charges the same, no? Both 2 microcoulombs. And the distance is also the same. So, even if you use the formula, you will get the same answer of 0.29 newtons. And again, you will break this down into x component and y component. You will use the same functions, trigonometric functions. 0.29 cosine alpha adjacent over hypotenuse, no? Adjacent is 0.4, hypotenuse is 0.5. So you multiply nimo na sa 0.29, you get the same amount of or the same value of 0.23 newtons. And for the y component, you will use again sine function, hypotenuse opposite side over hypotenuse. Opposite is 0.3, while hypotenuse is 0.5. Imo na siyang i-multiply sa 0.29. You will get 0.17 newtons. This time, positive siya. Why? Because ang duha ka charges positive, they will repel each other. And so, ang charge Q will go somehow upwards. And this upward component sa iyang force, this make it positive. So positive 0.17 newtons. Next thing to do is you add all the x components. So 0.23 plus 0.23 is equal to 0.46. While sa y components, you will also add, so negative 0.17 plus 0.17, you will get 0. So by symmetry, ang duha ka y components mag-cancel out man gid na siya. Na bisag dili pa nimo na computon, makita nimo sa figure, Q1 will make Q down while Q2 will make Q up. Up and down mag-cancel out because the same magnitude. And if you now have the summation of x and y components, you will use this formula somehow pareha sa Pythagorean, no? The net force is the vector sum anggod, vector sum sa individual forces. So you take the square root of the sum of the squares of the two forces, 0.46 and 0. You square both, you add, and you extract the root, you will get 0.46 newtons. And the final direction is going to the positive x-axis direction. Mora may nabilin. The y components are cancelled out. Only the x components, and both are going to the right. So, 0.46 going to the positive axis direction.